People even finding it amusing that America's most wanted fugitive, the man behind the September 11th attacks in the United States, was here in their town of Abbottabad. Now, I'm actually here with an eyewitness by the name of Jahangir Khan. Jahangir, if you could just stand right here for me. Jahangir, in the early hours of the morning, you heard some explosions. Tell me what you saw.
Actually, I was almost awake, actually, 1 o'clock. I was talking to my friend in UK online and Skype, and I hear the helicopter was moving. And I was talking to my wife, what's happening? And it was a little bit scary. We came out and I have seen the helicopter. I went to top of my roof, and because it was totally dark, there was no lights, but I have seen them. It was, I think it was a Apache helicopter.
Okay, so you woke up in the morning and then you heard the news. It was an assault carried out by the United States in which they captured and killed Osama bin Laden. What did you think when you heard the news?
When I came back at 4 o'clock from there to my house, I opened the news and this says about Osama bin Laden. I was shocked. And to be honest, I'm living here all my life. And you know that if somebody new comes in your street, in your area, you always know. Like somebody is, you can feel them, you can see the movement. I haven't seen anything like that. I can't believe that. I can't believe that.
You know, a lot of people in your neighborhood have said that they were suspicious about this house. Was there anything about this house that you found suspicious, that you found strange about?
To be honest, I always go in the evening, walk from my house to the same house where they said the Osama bin Laden. The next house is my other house, which I rented to my cousin friend. And every day in the evening we went there by walk with my wife for just walking. I never seen anything like that, and that's why I can't believe that. And to be honest, it's not true. Osama, maybe some other people, but Osama is not the bird who went to the inside, because this is restricted area. When we came out from outside to come here, always army will say, oh, where's your ID card? So it's not unbelievable.
Right. Thank you very much.
Sheikh, the man who murdered Osama bin Laden, Now I know that having dealings with people does not necessarily mean that.
Yes, we can now confirm that about an hour and a half ago, John, Osama bin Laden was buried at sea. We're told by a senior U.S. official that he was the only of the 4 bodies at the compound, the 4 people killed at the compound. He was the only person who was taken away, and that body has now been buried at sea. We can confirm that.
There was talk about possibly calling up Saudi Arabia and saying, do you want to bury him in his home country, possibly calling Afghanistan or Pakistan, but the fear was that if you put Osama bin Laden in the ground, he becomes, his burial site becomes a shrine and an attraction and maybe a lightning rod for the people who believe the same way he does. So by burying him at sea, the Pentagon is hoping to forestall any kind of hero worship, or at least worship of the burial site, because nobody's going to know where he is.
Who is Osama bin Laden? He's just a character created by America.
Well, actually, 98% of Pakistan would probably follow along the same line. They believe that Osama is basically a CIA agent who is working undercover to put a bad image of Islam.
Really? Yeah. So that there is no Osama bin Laden.
A lot of them find it difficult to believe that such Muslims could actually exist.
We could all drive an hour from where we are right now and find many, many people who stand by what Osama bin Laden says in the spirit of Islam.
To be quite honest, that's a very marginalized section of Pakistani society. Islamic extremism that you find here did not really exist in Pakistan pre 9/11 or pre the Musharraf government.
Really? Yeah. So that there is no Osama bin Laden.
That Osama is basically a CIA agent who is working undercover to put a bad image of Islam.
In an exclusive interview with Newsweek, the CIA field commander in Tora Bora during the invasion, Gary Burnson, broke his silence. He explained that his intelligence operatives had tracked bin Laden to Tora Bora.
Mr. Bernstein feels so strongly about getting this story out and getting his book published that he actually resigned 2 years short of retirement from the CIA in order to publish his book.
At the time of this interview, he was required to speak through his attorney until the CIA cleared his book for publication.
At various points in time, they did have, to my understanding, definitive intelligence as to his general location within Tora Bora. I can't go into detail as to the actual sources of the intelligence and the collection methods because those remain classified. However, we had Osama bin Laden essentially cornered in Tora Bora, and for whatever reasons, we did not do what was necessary in order to ensure that he did not escape.
Of course we're after Saddam Hussein, bin Laden. He's isolated.
He's just a character created by America.
According to investigative reporter Seymour Hersh, the Bush administration with Saudi Arabia is secretly funding radical Sunni groups, some with ties to al-Qaeda, to counter Shia groups backed by Iran.
A lot of them find it difficult to believe that such Muslims could actually exist.
There is also no evidence that bin Laden used the term al-Qaeda to refer to the name of a group until after September the 11th, when he realized that this was the term the Americans had given him.